Hey guys,
Hello.
Logan and Kevin here. We are Cinema Suitcase, and today for the 10th anniversary year, I wanted to make sure that we at least do draft for the end of the year, just to get this movie done.
Is this the year of 10?
Yeah, this is the 10th anniversary. I mean, okay, nice. We are a few months late to like the actual anniversary, but like we're at least
in the same year. That's
in
fine.
The same year. Yeah,
nice.
Wanted to make sure that we at least. Because the thing is, I actually completely forgot that this was the 10th anniversary, and then the other day I was like, oh shit, it is. I was like,
scramble.
I was like, damn, scramble, we got to get an episode together.
True. And I like this. I'm glad that you introduced me to it.
Yeah. So let's just get some credits out of the way. This movie was directed by Nicholas Winding Refn. I think that's...
R-E-F-F-E-N.
R-E-E-F-N. That's how you spell it.
Yeah, Refn. Makes sense.
Refn, yeah. Writing credits by Hussein Hamni and James Salas, who obviously wrote the original book that this movie is based off of.
Okay, makes sense.
Original music by Cliff Martinez, who's one of my favorite film composers. He's very, very good. Cinematography by Newton Thomas Segal, and film editing by Matthew Newman.
Simple name.
So just kind of like my backstory of this movie. I didn't really. I watched this movie pretty late. I didn't watch this when it first came out because it just looked very slow. It didn't look like my type of movie. But I am a big fan of Nicholas Winding Refn. We even did the Neon Demon as a project
back in college.
In college, when we had to do a project on semiotics, we had to do a presentation, and I said we should do the Neon Demon
because that's very symbolic and obscure, abstract.
Yeah, and The Drive is basically. I feel like out of all the movies he's done, this is pretty much Nicholas Winding. This is pretty much his most accessible, most studio film.
Yeah. It seems very
because a lot of it. I was just gonna say that a lot of the film that he's done after this has just been very. They're very slow. He's a very auteur director.
He's got a very unique style.
He's got a very unique style. You can see. Very unique way. Yeah. But yeah.
That's fair enough. I appreciate this film. I get what you mean in terms of accessibility. It's the most easy to digest.
Especially compared to Neon Demon,
because everything is almost it's not a metaphor or a imagery. It's just play by play, so it's easy to understand. I appreciate that. I didn't actually know that it was the same director.
Yeah, but
because of the completely different approach.
Yeah.
But anyway, my introduction to this film was you. I've heard of the title Drive, but I've never seen like an image or a box art or anything to do with the film. And then you were like, "Hey, fool, we have to do an episode on Drive because it's
Then you were trash talking before because you were just like, the only Drive movie that I care about is Baby Driver."
Yeah, I was.
You did some
I
trash
hate Baby Driver as a film.
You don't like Baby Driver?
God, no.
I don't like it either.
No, I don't like Baby Driver.
Well, I'm at least glad to at least meet somebody else that doesn't like it. I don't know.
I was being sarcastic when I said the only film I like is Baby Driver.
I didn't get the sarcasm.
No, I hate that movie. Drive is brilliant. Baby Driver is...
Yeah, I don't know. Everyone likes that movie. I mean, if it is, I'm not trying to bash anybody that does like it. Obviously,
yeah, no, sure. You like it. Cool.
You're free to like what you like. It's just I watched it, and just for me, it just felt like it was really overhyped, and it's just like I'm just like, really, this is it. This is the movie everyone freaks out about. It's
I have the same thought. I like Jamie Foxx in it though. I like his character, but
is he in that movie?
Jamie Foxx, yeah, he is. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Jamie Foxx is in Baby Driver. Now you got me all confused, man.
Oh yeah, he is.
He is.
I forgot. There's like so many famous actors in that movie that that I almost forgot. And again, I watched this movie. I've only watched it once, and it was like years ago.
Okay, now I've gone off topic. I like this film. That was my point. My origin was you. You said we have to watch it.
Yeah.
And we did, and I liked it. There.
Yeah. Okay. But no. Drive is very interesting film. So basically, our film stars Ryan Gosling, and he plays this character that's simply just known as the driver.
The driver, no name.
Yeah, it's never specified what his name is or whatever. He's a car mechanic slash stuntman for movies. Like he basically is like whenever they have to do a car chase, they need like a stuntman to do the dangerous stunt whenever he does it. And then he also moonlights as a getaway driver for heists and robberies and that type of thing. And he has like this clear, distinct thing where he says, I'm giving you when the job starts, I'll give you 5 minutes. Within those 5 minutes, I'm yours. But after that, you're on your own.
It's paraphrased, but that's his line.
But yeah, it's very good. And then also one thing I want to just talk about is the soundtrack. The soundtrack of this movie is epic.
It had such a 80s sort of
Yeah, you said 80s Miami vibe. Lost Nights.
Yeah, definitely 80s Miami vibe, sort of like Daft Punk type techno synthesizers. I really dig it.
Yeah, it had a really cool soundtrack.
Oh, it was incredible.
The original composed music is great, and the curated songs they got for it is just very, very good.
Yeah, very, very selective, obviously.
I just had my phone out and I was like just shazamming every single song that came out.
I also shazammed one or two. They had some nice, casual bangers there.
Yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know, it was pretty good. But yeah, basically, we follow the driver. The movie opens with his first. He's in a hotel room or whatever, or his apartment. He's on talking to someone on the phone. He obviously explains to them the rules. And then we get basically his first at least we get to see one of his getaway car chases where he escapes from the police and everything like that. Real GTA style. Grand Theft Auto. Except a lot
early heist.
Except a lot less destruction.
True. A lot more style.
A lot more style, a lot less crashing, no paint spray.
No paint spray.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it was pretty cool. So, then basically, he returns back home, and then he has this neighbor. There's this mom who lives, which is a single. Well, okay, originally it's perceived as single mom, but obviously we find out she's not single. But anyway, she's this lone mom. She's raising this little son. She lives next door, and then he's initially just I think they meet when they're on the elevator, but he's just tries to keep his distance because he's I don't want to get to know people because he's generally a loner type person.
He is.
He's a loner, and he kept saying over the course of the film that you like that he's very quiet.
Yeah, I really do like his character and his persona. He's very, very. He's not easygoing. He's not whatever, man. But he's just very reserved and quiet.
Very reserved and quiet. And then basically he tries to avoid them, so he goes back into the apartment, and then later they're at the supermarket, and then he's walking down an aisle because he needs to get something, and then he sees her there with his son, and then he goes around to the other aisle, but he stays there and he listens to her. She talks to her son and everything like that. And then basically it's just good. And then the first I'd say really half the film, or maybe the first 40 minutes or whatever, it pretty much plays almost like a rom-com because he sort of gets to know her. Him and the mom obviously like each other, and he's good with her. He's good with the son. He's sort of a father figure to the little boy and everything.
Yeah, he's got subtle flirting with her.
Yeah.
I enjoy that. He's very, very casual with his responses, and he's just super, super straight-faced. I like him a lot.
Yeah, the only times he ever smiles in this movie is when he's with her. When he's not with her, it's basically he's just
straight-faced.
Deadpan.
Deadpan? Is that an actual saying?
Yeah, it is a saying, just deadpan. Just
wow, I've never heard that. That's brilliant.
Deadpan, resting bitch face.
Yeah, I know the latter, but I've never heard of deadpan.
Yeah, but anyway, so basically he's working with Thea. Then her car gets damaged. That's actually when they have their first real conversation, is when he's in the parking lot of the grocery store, but then he sees that her car is damaged, so he goes and helps her, and then she brings it to the car repair shop where he works, and then Bryan Cranston is his boss from Breaking Bad, which is very cool.
Heisenberg survived Breaking Bad, and he went on to become a
car mechanic.
Yeah,
exactly.
Nice.
But yeah, anyway, he then says, "Oh no, well you can give them a ride home because you guys live in the same apartment building and everything." And it's just like that. And then we sort of play a little bit in the background. Bryan Cranston's character, he's sort of involved. He's kind of involved with the mafia. He's sort of like he wants to try to get into that world so he can make money, and he goes to this one mob boss to get money because he wants to start like a race car. He wants to start his own race car and like and he already has the driver, Ryan Gosling's character, to be his driver and everything. And he goes and talks to this mob boss, and the mob boss is played by the guy voiced Marlon in Finding Nemo.
Dude, I couldn't make that connection at all. Only when you pointed it out, I was like, okay, I see.
Yeah.
Didn't expect him to look like that.
Yeah, no,
to be honest.
Because he mostly does like comedies and like he voices, you know, obviously characters in family animated movies and everything. This is like a very, very different role for him. And I don't know if you noticed, he didn't have eyebrows. He actually shaved his eyebrows for this role.
I saw that. Yeah, I thought he looked a bit corpsey.
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know, like intense, or I don't know, his own spin on the character. I don't know.
His own take on the character.
Well, I don't know, maybe Nicholas Winding Refn was like, hey, do you mind shaving the eyebrows? You know, make him more intimidating. Well, I guess also to make him look more intimidating.
You could just draw on those angry eyebrows.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. But yeah, basically, he goes to this mob boss and says like, you know, you have a successful business. Where he's like, yeah, but I only earn like $30,000 a year. Then most of the time, the cars that I make for these films don't even end up in the movie, and I don't get paid and all that type of stuff.
Which is kind of bull.
Yeah.
I mean, you do the work, you get paid. That's fair.
Yeah, but it's Hollywood. No compromises.
Yeah, true.
Exactly. So yeah, then basically he wants him to be the driver. Then yeah, it's pretty much just smooth sailing for most of the movie. He meets the mob boss guy. Doesn't shake his hand initially, but eventually he does. And then and then eventually the husband of the woman finally decides to, you know, obviously I forgot to mention, but the woman next door, she's played by Carey Mulligan, who shouted out for Promising Young Woman in our Venom episode, and I still shout her out. I still shout out that movie. Go check it out. It's a great movie. But anyway, then the husband shows up. The husband's played by Oscar Isaac.
Moon Knight.
Yeah.
Apparently.
Yeah, he's played Moon Knight in the new Disney Plus show, which I'm very excited for. So I love Moon Knight.
Yeah, Moon Knight has been a long-awaited character.
Yeah, very cool. So basically, they're at the part. They're having this like party, obviously, for him coming back. And he has this whole thing where he has to like give a speech about, feel bad for what I did.
Oh, I'm sorry for what I did. I was also like,
sorry for what I did. I'm just like, jeez, man, like I don't know.
I get like if he's really a new person and he's trying to turn over a new leaf. I get that he addressed it in front of all those people, but if that wasn't the logic, I was like,
it does kind of feel a bit showy.
It does, a little bit
show-offy, and then woe is me. And then,
he holds the skull.
and then the driver, he's not at the party. He's in his own apartment or whatever. And then he comes out. I think he has to go somewhere. Then he sees that she's basically just sitting there by herself outside the party. So he sort of like talks to her a little bit, and then the husband comes out to find her. And then the driver, he obviously gets his keys because he's obviously gonna go back into his apartment. But then the husband's like, "Hey man, how are you? Like I heard you've been hanging out, sir. You better not be screwing my wife because that's my wife." I don't know.
He comes off as very passive aggressive. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Which I think is the point. Obviously, he's supposed to be like, sizing him up.
But I don't know. That scene just kind of like it kind of just screamed to me like you better not be doing anything with my wife.
Yeah, it does. He's adamant about it. That's why I'm saying he's passive aggressive because he's like, you're getting close with the honey.
Very passive aggressive. Although we know if they were in a fight, if the driver would just beat his ass.
Yeah, no, he'd whoop him, throw him out the window.
Yeah.
True.
But anyway, so the driver's basically just like, okay, fine, the husband's here, so I'll just back off.
Whatever.
I'll just carry on with my life. And then, but then one day when he comes into the parking lot, he brings his car in. He sees that the little boy's by himself, and then he sees that the husband's there, and the husband's been beaten up and bruised and everything like that. because obviously because he paid he reveals later that he paid while he was in jail. He paid some protection money because obviously he didn't want to be jumped in the showers. It was like, yeah, he paid. It was the protection money initially was $2,000, but every day that he doesn't pay them, they just keep raising the price.
Yeah, of course it'll be out of range at some point. So.
They just keep raising the money to the point where he can't afford it anymore. And then he's talking to him in the bathroom, and then there's that bit where. The driver, he comes out the bathroom to talk to the boy, and he's like, are you okay and everything, and then he says, what's that do you have? And then it's like a bullet, and then he says, one of those men gave it to you, and he's like, yeah, because he said my dad's a loser or whatever, something like that. And then driver basically he makes it his mission that okay, we're gonna him and the dad basically find this job, and he's like, okay, fine, I'll help you do this job. And then when they're talking to the guy, that the loan shark or whatever, he says to him okay, if I do this job, you can pay me whatever, I don't care. Just if I do this job, you leave him alone, you leave his family alone. He doesn't care about the husband. He's just he couldn't care less about the husband, but he cares about the mom and the son.
Exactly.
He doesn't want them to get hurt or whatever. So and then basically we get to obviously the actual job. It goes horribly wrong because they rob the store, and then the one because the thing is there's three people for this job. There's driver, there's the husband, and then there's this one chick who's the loan shark's girlfriend or whatever.
Something like that, yeah.
Something like that. and then basically the girlfriend, she comes out, she's in the car, she's got the money, and then the husband's walking out the shop, and then the owner comes out, basically just pops a cap at him, and basically just empties an entire magazine into him, basically. So he's dead, and then we get a car chase of I don't know, the owner or the mob, or I don't know who was in the other car chasing them.
It was the mob from the East Coast, because remember they wanted to come set up in Miami.
Yeah, but and we find out later that the whole job was a setup. They basically just wanted to take the guy's money and everything like that.
But that money was used to set up in LA.
Yeah,
because it was a lot of money for a pawn shop. And he said, the one place you have to rob is that place. So now, of course, the East Coast and the West Coast are not seeing eye to eye.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a big a chain reaction.
Yeah. So anyway, there's a really cool car chase. Yeah, people say that this movie is a bit slow and boring, but it's actually very good.
I really like the pacing.
It's got a good pacing, and okay, I mean the thing is, it's not a straight up action movie, but there are action scenes, and and the car chase scenes are very exciting to watch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely, I get what they mean. It can be slow. I mean, in action-packed world of ours, everything is to be explosive, and you can't have any exposition anymore and this sort of stuff. But I appreciate the fact that movie takes its time.
Yeah.
It's very, very
because
I don't know how to say it, but basically our main character, the driver, is very slow and relaxed, and the movie follows suit. It takes that same tone.
It's got a very chilled vibe for most. Okay, well, obviously not. There's a lot of really intense scenes in this movie, but in the whenever there's a quiet moment, it's got a very chilled vibe.
It really does. I love it. This is quickly becoming one of my top 100 films.
Yeah, definitely. But because the thing is, I stayed away from this movie for a very long time because I just thought, oh no, it's too slow, I'm not going to like it or whatever. And I think one day the curiosity just got the best of me, and I was just like, okay, fine, let me actually, because I do like Nicholas Winding Refn. I've seen some of his films. I'm a bit of a fan of him. Sometimes his films can be a bit too weird. They can be a bit too abstract for me. But I do like him as a filmmaker. Oh. So I'm like, no, let me actually watch this. When I watched it, I was like, yeah, this is actually really good.
It is a very good film. Definitely.
This is only the second time I'm watching it, but yeah.
Oh,
it's a good
you
movie.
and I.
Yeah, for me, this is only the second time now that I'm watching it.
That's what I'm saying. When you and I watched it last night, that was your second time.
Yeah, second time, because I watched this, I think, a year ago or so. And I really enjoyed it.
That's great, man. It's a good film. Very good film.
But...
I'm trying to... I get that Hellboy's actor...
Oh, yeah, because alongside Marlon, who's the mob boss, his partner is the actor who plays Jeez. Of course, like, when you're on the spot, you can never remember these actors' names.
Yeah.
But, the guy plays Hellboy, legendary actor.
Yeah, he is
basically
very
is
iconic.
the boss, and he's kind of like he's kind of very impulsive with his
decisions. I was about to say
he's
as
very
well.
impulsive and very reactive. Whereas the other guy, whereas Marlon, he's more like let's think about this first before we do anything rash.
Don't be rational.
Don't be rational.
Irrational, sorry.
Rational, come to me before you do anything.
Exactly. But they never respected him, and I think Hellboy's character, they never respected him because of his impulsiveness. I think he's very aggressive and in your face, and he just doesn't do things in a like a
calculated.
Calculated manner. He's a very destructive. Aggressive person, and I think he causes a lot of other mob players headaches.
Yeah, exactly.
Because they always have to
clean up after him
and make amends.
Yeah, exactly. And then anyway, but getting to that, there's a scene where he's in the motel room with this woman, and then he basically asks her while he's like, because he's putting on gloves of like, oh yeah, he's getting ready to go down. He puts on the gloves. He's like, so, what was the job? Like, why did we get attacked? He asks simple questions. He's just, trying to get the information out of her. She's obviously lying through her teeth, saying like, I don't know, everything like that. And then anyway, then he hits her, and then he says you just got a boy's father killed. So you're gonna tell me everything that you know, and then.
He keeps that calm demeanor. He's not overly aggressive with her, but he is to the point.
Yeah, he's to the point, and the thing is, you can tell that he has a lot of rage. There's a lot of rage inside him, and when he does go to town on these guys, he goes to town on them. He really beats the hell out of these guys, but he always keeps this very calm, deadpan demeanor. He never shouts or anything. He just he asks very, very. He always asks him first So can you tell me the information? When they don't tell him, he basically just he
wrecks them.
He wrecks them basically. Anyway, he gets the information out of her. Then she goes to the bathroom, and then the two guys come, and then there's a shotgun blast right to her head, and her head explodes. That was
mint. I didn't expect that.
Pretty gory, but anyway, he takes out these two guys, and just a lot of brilliant cinematography. There's actually a few shots in that scene that I want to bring up when we get down to our favorite shots, but. Yeah, basically, and then he goes back to this loan shark guy, beats the hell out of him, and then says phone your boss. And then it's Hellboy, obviously, and then he says to Hellboy look, I'll meet with you wherever, and I'll give you the money. Just leave me alone. I'll give you the money. That's it. And then Hellboy's like, oh, not very good at negotiating, are you?
Yeah, I was like, why? He doesn't want to be involved. He just wants to give the cash back so he can
So you can
just
not be involved because he just doesn't want to be involved in this. And then, and then Marlon even says to him you could have just taken the money from him and just left him alone, and we would have been fine.
Mm-hmm.
But you had to go. But you had to try and kill him because then Hellboy sends one of his guys to kill him, and then, obviously the mom is the wife is distraught because her husband's just been killed, and everything. Anyway, then he eventually comes and knocks. He tries to phone earlier, but the police are there, so he can't talk to her.
Oh, yes.
And he knocks on the door to obviously talks to her, and she has to go somewhere, so he said, okay, fine, I'll walk with you. And then they go into the elevator, and then the driver notices that the guy that's in the elevator with him is clearly the killer. So then, he he takes his hand, he sort of pushes her into the corner so that she's out of the way, and then he kisses her. They have quite a very long kiss, and this is actually a very interesting scene. I remember watching a review for it. There's this one interpretation of it is that the reason why he kisses her is because he's basically just because he knows what he has to do now. He has to take out this guy in the elevator, and he knows that as soon as he does it, she's not going to want to have anything to do with him. So
he cashed in quickly.
So he kisses her because he knows it's the last moment he's ever going to be able to share with her. And then
that's probably why it was so long as well.
Yeah, basically. So they did that, and then once that's done, he basically just beats the hell out of this guy, and he just stomps his head in, bashes the guy's heads in with his foot.
Mm-hmm. I thought he would just knock him out, but he straight up killed that guy.
Yeah.
And then obviously she was traumatized and she left.
Yeah.
I assume she went to a car to go to work.
Yeah.
But she was like, I've had enough of you. You're very dangerous and scary. So she kind of just I imagine she wrote him off in that moment.
Well, she didn't technically write him off because she does still go to his apartment door at the end.
Yeah.
Knock on the door.
I mean, in the moment, but she obviously renounced her decision.
Renounced her decision later, yeah.
Exactly.
She's like, no, I still like you. Come on, please.
Open up, man, please.
Please. I can't raise this kid by myself.
Even though he's like a perfectly well-mannered kid, you know, he's respectful and he doesn't scream and shout. He's all right.
Yeah.
It's not that bad.
Yeah, exactly.
But
anyway, so basically he has to go deal with this. So first he takes out Hellboy first. They're busy driving.
Oh, that whole sequence, man!
Yeah, the whole sequence is very, very good.
I love that.
He takes one of the face masks that he often has to wear when he does the stunt. He goes onto a set, takes the stunt thing, puts it on so that he can conceal his identity. He knocks Hellboy's car off onto the beach, and then Hellboy's there. And then I just love how I love those shots. So because after he knocks him off, he gets out his car. He's just standing there. There's this long shot of him just standing there. And then when he comes up to Hellboy, he doesn't say anything to him. He just stands there for a good 30 seconds. It's like a slasher type thing.
Mm-hmm. He knows. But I think it's kind of scarier when they don't say anything.
Yeah, exactly.
Because then you make your own assumptions. You're like, what does this guy want? You know?
Yeah. And then anyway, then Hellboy goes to the ocean. Very bad idea. And
awful idea.
And then he drowns him.
I love that whole sequence, man, with the storm and the waves and this the lighthouse. There we go.
The lighthouse.
Everything is so nice.
It is a very good sequence,
dude. Very, very simple, dark colors, very chaotic energy. I love that whole sequence, man. It's good kill. My favorite kill.
Yeah, perfectly well done. But so we continue on from there. He's murdered him, and now he's got to go after Marlon. And now Marlon says okay, we'll meet you at this restaurant or whatever. And then they meet at this restaurant, and then Marlon's basically just like, your life is basically over because you're going to be looking over your shoulder for the rest of your life. And then the two of them stab each other. But then obviously Driver wins that fight, and then Driver basically does survive at the end.
I like that sequence. I like how they mixed it with the meeting they had beforehand and the fight afterwards.
Yeah.
They didn't have this explosive, action-packed, final fight. It was literally a discussion and a knife fight, and that was it. Well, not even a knife fight. It was just stabbed each other.
They stabbed each other, then Driver was the one who survived.
I'm glad for a creative choice they did that. I was really thinking okay, this movie is gonna end up in some sort of Scarface final boss fight, explosives and all this, and I'm like, it's really gonna ruin this movie's style and pace. And they didn't do that. They kept it to the point, literally, and mellow.
Yeah, to the point and mellow. And there's also the bit earlier where Marlon goes to obviously to kill Bryan Cranston, Walter White, and then we find it funny because afterwards when Driver comes and discovers it, obviously he's upset because this guy was sort of a father figure to him,
more like a friend or something,
like a friend or whatever. And then he literally opens up the boot and takes out all the money, and I'm just like, wow, if he literally just opened the boot of the car, he would have gotten all his money back.
I thought that was an obvious hiding spot. Of course, the cars.
Yeah.
What's there all the time that's pretty much untouchable by everyone but him? It's the cars.
Yeah, exactly.
And he was he couldn't even bother checking.
Yeah, exactly. So, basically we continue on from there. And then, he drives off into the sunset, and then, pretty much the movie's over.
That's it. There's something very... I don't really know what the word is. There's something about the slowness, quote unquote, of this movie that makes it very interesting to study.
Exactly.
It's very rare type of cinema to have it.
It is a very rare type of cinema.
It withholds all sorts of punches. You were talking about a 4K remaster.
Yeah, anyway.
And the demand for it, rather.
Yeah, I was talking about how, to my knowledge, Drive hasn't come to 4K yet. It's one of the most top requested movies to come to 4K because it would look really good in 4K.
It would. Brilliant film. I can see why the demand is there. A lot of people will, I think, misinterpret this film.
Yeah.
But I personally really like it.
Yeah. Because I wasn't sure if you were gonna like it or not, but I was feeling like, yeah, Kevin will like it. And
Yeah, I did like it.
you actually enjoyed it.
I'm very open-minded to when it comes to cinema.
Yeah.
Because like the beauty of cinema is there's almost no wrong answers, you know.
Yeah.
So that approach means a lot to me, and it's a very auteur approach, as you said earlier.
Yeah.
Which is why I value it. It's memorable because it's different.
Exactly.
I mean, who talks about Baby Driver anymore? No one. Exactly.
Yeah. Apparently there's Baby Driver 2 coming out.
Of course, because every shitty movie needs a sequel.
Exactly.
Hate that movie, man. I mean, it's clever in its own way, but
it's one of those movies where it's not for me. It's just not for me.
No, it is. I'm
it's a very,
not trying to
very
bash.
specific group of people. And look, people who do like it, again, no offense to them.
No, it's not what I mean.
No offense to the director or the writers or anybody who worked on that film. It's just not for me.
It just really isn't. Yeah, that's pretty much what I was going to say as well. I don't mean offense to anybody. If you like it, that's cool with me. It doesn't bother me. But me personally, I despise it. I really don't like that movie.
But yeah, a lot of people don't. But anyway. So cinematography that we liked. Sure, there's a lot of shots that you liked.
There's a few standouts that I like. I think I incorporate the same sort of decision making that I had for V for Vendetta, where there weren't that many standout shots, but just their approach to cinematography and the very prolonged and delayed shots.
Because they linger on shots for a very, very long time.
And that's what I really enjoyed, because you don't get many movies where shots linger, especially not newer movies. Okay, Drive is not new, but compared to like another lingering shot from Halloween, that's 30 years ago.
Yeah.
You see what I mean? There aren't many modern films that have lingering cinematography like they do, and that approach, it kind of puts me in the headspace of Driver, of just taking everything as is and never letting pressure break you.
Yeah.
Just go about your business in a logical way. I like that approach. I don't know if I worded it correctly, but I hope you understand what I mean.
I understand what you mean. Yeah, it's very good shots. But yeah, like you said, there's not really a standout shots. There's just some shots I just like how they linger on it. Like I mentioned it sort of earlier, but that like very long shot where like where Hellboy's car crashes and he's crawling and he's like on the sand or whatever, and then you see the driver on top of the hill and he's just standing there. Like I just love that shot. That shot's very cool. I like a lot of the lingering shots. Like I like the shot where
the kiss is one.
Yeah, the kiss is one good shot. When they're in the motel room and he beats those guys and he like stabs the one guy, takes a shotgun, blows the other guy, and then there's that bit where like there's the blood.
Blows him away. My goodness.
Yeah, blows him away basically. And then there's that shot where like he's got the blood on his face and he's like standing there in the doorway, and then like he's slowly. Like his head slowly starts to come out of view. Mm-hmm. Like he slowly starts to move until eventually you can't see his face anymore. That's a really good shot. Or like the shot in the elevator where after he bashes that guy's head in, and then like the girl, the woman's like standing there. Like there's that moment where like he's just looking at her before the elevator door closes on him.
I think another lingering shot that they really stayed on was when that character is at the diner as well as Driver, and he goes up and he talks to him and he's like, no, I'm not interested in your job, please leave. And then he watches him leave, but you only see like Driver's face. You remember
because the thing is, because he's like talking to him saying like, hey man,
you want to do this? And then Driver's like,
what's up with you? I've been in prison for like the last 6 weeks and everything like that. And then Driver basically just says like go away or I'm gonna bash your head in or anything.
Something like that.
And then the guy and then it cuts to him obviously when he speaks to the guy. And he threatens him, but then they don't cut away from it. They don't cut back to the other guy when his reaction or whatever, and he just walks away and like his eyes follow him and everything like that. Like
that's what I'm saying. It's one of those
really good like lingering shots.
It is. I did have some shots that I really liked. Oh god, that's the wrong application. Here we go. Drive. Here we go. Yeah. Oh. When he assaults that guy in that like dressing room with the hammer. And then he's on the phone.
Yeah, I know he's on the phone, and then it's like that shot where the camera's looking directly
very
up at him,
low angle,
and he's got the hammer just to show like he's in control.
Yeah, that shot I really, really appreciated. And then there was one more shot. Let me check here. Oh yeah, it's when he just bashed that guy's head in the lift, and she walks out. You see the scorpion on his jacket.
Yeah.
And she's like leaving. I think she's out of focus because she's in the background, but everything else is in focus. And then they linger on that. I thought, yeah, that's a mint-F shot.
It is a mint-F shot.
So those were my highlight shots. But the cinematography as a whole, I commend. Like this movie blew me away last night. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
I loved it. I know for you. You said it. For me, it was like a 50-50 on if I'd like it.
Yeah,
but I loved it.
Because again, it's a very like, you know,
niche
type
or
of
like
movie. Unique, niche, and also like people have very different reactions to this movie. Like some people like really like it and they really appreciate it, and other people are like, oh, this movie's boring. You know,
it's not boring. No. Yeah. You're boring.
Yeah, exactly.
Get off Twitter.
It's just like you go, oh, this movie's boring. You know, what movie's really good, Baby Driver, and I'm just like, oh, stop showing that movie in my face.
Yeah, please.
I'm sick and
tired of hearing about Baby Driver.
Yeah.
That movie. Oh, I hate that movie.
Yeah.
Anyway, lessons, pacing for me.
Yeah, pacing.
Definitely pacing, and that. That connection between cinematography approach and like how they did it compared to the main character, it really puts you in his headspace of not mellow, but very calm and collected.
Yeah, it's just a very interesting way to, because it's pretty much like it's pretty much like I mean, if you really were to look at this movie basics, it pretty much is just a crime like movie,
like a thriller.
It's basically like a crime thriller type film. But like the thing is just how they did it and how it's like so stylized and unique and everything like that.
Very Miami Vice.
Good. And I think what I actually like a lot about this film, one aspect of it is what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, and also like you said, I just love that they're not scared to like linger on shots and to like, you know, they don't like, you know, cave in and say, no, we gotta have like 20 different shots that we cut between in this one scene or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Like no, they're not scared to actually linger.
And that's the thing. Watching those lingering shots, they really slow you down as well. You're like, you know what, this ain't so bad.
Yeah,
it's brilliant. I commend it. I cannot talk about it enough. I'm geeking now. This is going on the poster wall, man. Drive is going on the poster wall.
Yeah, exactly.
If I can find a poster, I'll check. But yeah, definitely recommend.
Yeah.
That was my takeaway is just that connection between cinematography and the character.
Exactly.
The pacing is phenomenal. That would be it for me, I think.
Alright, cool. And then rating? What rating would you give this?
10. 10. I got no issues. I love this film. 10.
Okay, I'll probably go with a 9, but yeah, no, this movie's epic.
It is epic.
It's really awesome.
Wonderfully unique take, and I highly recommend it.
Yeah, I know, I do love it.